Shout out to everybody here. My name is Samuel James Price, and every single day I do the Crypto Lifer Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. You should come to the show and check it out. I want to go over the news every day, too, and give you these little snippets of news so you can figure out what's going on without having to waste your time and see what the most important 3 topics are of the day. First thing I want to do is, just get rid of the FUD. People are probably looking at Arbitrum a little, wondering what's happening right now. Remember, ZK rollups are experimental, and as we implemented them too, it was going to be, we made a video about it. And we talked about this in the video, a narrative, scripted, beautiful video that you would love to watch. Go check out my channel and see that playlist if you can. Arbitrum network bug points to experimental state of rollups. Arbitrum failed to settle on Ethereum after a pre-programmed failsafe meant a critical node didn't receive enough ETH for the gas fees. Arbitrum, the ETH Layer 2 scaling solution, stopped sending transactions to the mainnet for roughly 2 hours on Wednesday due to a software bug affecting the optimistic rollups sequencer. The snafu left more than 2.2 billion in crypto in Lurch, locked inside dApps running on the blockchain, including GMX and Uniswap. Arbitrum, like other rollup-centric networks, is intended to relieve Ethereum mainnet of activity by providing users of off-chain environment in which to transact. The company behind Arbitrum is Off-Chain Labs. Every so often, Arbitrum must batch those transactions together, forward them to the Ethereum for finalization. Code associated with the network node crucial to this process, the sequencer, was responsible for the outage. In order for the node to send the transaction to Ethereum, one of the 2 wallets associated with the node needs enough Ethereum to pay the gas fees. Arbitrum developers explained in a tweet in the thread that the malfunction in the sequencer meant batches of transactions stopped being passed to the Ethereum mainnet. This interrupted an automated function that refilled the node's wallet with ETH for transaction fees, effectively causing transactions to pile up for hours, awaiting settlement. The sequencer spent 5 ETH it had, but the gas refunder, which had 250 ETH, didn't refill it until it posted a successful batch, the developers retweeted. So, problems with ZK rollups, right? They're putting all these things into one area, then they need the sequencer, adding another layer. And again, if you're going to be better than Ethereum, you got to hold it down. So, a little shaky there. Might make a good price for Arbitrum, though, as I believe Arbitrum will be big in the long run over time. However, those bugs have to make you wonder, how well are the ZK rollups, and could this happen again, right? Something to think about if you're trading Arbitrum or you want to go hard on Arbitrum. I like AGIX personally, but do whatever makes you happy. I do have a pretty big bag, I will disclose, of AGIX. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I'm saying it should be taken as such. Binance wants Gary Gensler to recuse himself from the SEC lawsuit. Binance argued in February and again earlier this month that the SEC chairman should recuse himself from the SEC lawsuit against the exchange. It claimed his previous interactions with the exchange's CEO, Changpeng Zhang, justify his recusal. I mean, that's amazing, right? So, and then we went over this in February, and we talked about it already at the beginning of the live stream, but Binance lawyers reiterated in new filings that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission that Gary Gensler should remove himself from the agency's case against him because he once tried to land a job under Vire Exchange. The firm raised the concerns in a letter dated in January 4th, 2023, that the SEC filed in its supporting documents claiming it had highlighted them in February. So pretty weird, pretty interesting that that's something we're seeing. For those reasons, the exchange had argued that the chairman should recuse himself. The exchange claims the SEC had not yet addressed these confirms. So interesting. What is he going to say there? Conflict of interest. What's going on? And just, something to think about here. Lens Protocol raises $15 million to boost decentralized social media. Pretty good. Lens Protocol raises $15 million in a fund round led by IDO Labs and Ventures. Lens Protocol raised $50 million in a funding round led by IDO. Other VCs include Generalist Catalyst, Variant, and Blockchain Capital also participated in the round. And you can see behind the scenes, you still see VCs and companies putting in money that's getting people pretty interested, right? And alluvial eyes boosted in liquid staking among institutions with ETH withdrawals now live. Alluvial started Ethereum staking withdrawals on its decentralized liquid staking platform, Liquid Collective. The firm is optimistic about the future adoption of liquid staking, especially among institutional and enterprise users. And you can see liquid staking continue to grow. It's going to be a pretty big thing that could make a move. Redemption surge for Coinbase's staked Ether following the SEC lawsuit. On-chain data indicates a surge in redemptions of the exchange-staked Ether token. Coinbase remains the second largest entity in terms of the amount of ETH staked on the network, just behind Lido Finance. That's pretty interesting too as well. And last but not least, Polygon spinoff Avail Network starts phase 2 of its testnet. Remember, the people that used to run Polygon, they ran and started running Avail. Something you definitely want to pay attention to. It's pretty interesting, right? So Avail also intends to address data availability problems faced by scaling applications, its developer said. It's a complex problem faced by the blockchain developers. How are nodes sure about when a new block is produced? Since all the data on the block is actually published on the network, there's no way to detect hidden malicious transactions before publishing the data. Avail uses advanced mathematic techniques to access blockchain data provided by node operators to determine the authenticity of the data without needing to rely on all the node operators to verify the data, its developers claim. As such, Avail plans to onboard hundreds of new validators to join and participate and engage with its community. That's a big deal. I definitely want to pay attention to this and see what's going on with it. I was looking it up the other day. This is something I would definitely be interested in putting some money into, Avail. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such. And I don't know if this is the right one, so I'd have to do my due diligence. We may not be able to buy it yet. It may be just kind of beginning. So we're going to keep our on the radar. And that's the thing. If a month from now Avail blows up and we start making money trading it, it's not going to be a coincidence or an accident. It's because we've been focused on it heavily. So, just things that we got to kind of think about and focus on too as well. All right. And that's the news, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on into the news. Watch the news every single day here on this channel. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next news segment.